Welcome to our lecture online. Now we're going to try to take a look and see how we actually derive that equation. From a conceptual perspective, when we have all three components, the resistor, the inductor, and the capacitor in a source-free RCL circuit. Now it turns out, depending upon the frequency of oscillation and the size of the inductor and the size of the capacitor, as well as the size of the resistor, the phase difference between the current and voltage is not going to be 90 degrees. It's going to be some different number, and so it's not always that easy to see the relationship. But if we take this snap picture right here, I think we can see where the equation comes from. So let's assume we're at a moment that the current is going around the circuit in a clockwise direction, and it's currently decreasing, which means that the capacitor is charging and the inductor is trying to oppose the decrease in the current, while the resistor has a voltage drop since the current is going around in a clockwise direction, assuming that we're going to go around the loop in a clockwise direction as well. So let's take a look at the voltages across all three components. What we're going to do is we're going to calculate the voltage across the resistor plus the voltage across the inductor plus the voltage across the capacitor and set it equal to 0. So first of all, the voltage across the capacitor. Notice that there's positive charge over here, negative charge over here. If our loop is going to go around the circuit in a clockwise direction, notice we have positive charge, negative charge. That means there's a voltage drop across the capacitor. We can then see that the voltage must be equal to the negative of the charge over the capacitance, which is therefore equal to negative 1 over c times the integral of I dt from 0 to t. In other words, this component right here, this term in the equation, is going to be negative q over c, which is going to be negative 1 over c times the integral of I dt. What about the inductor? The inductor is trying to oppose the decrease. So there's going to be an induced voltage trying to keep pushing the current in the same direction, trying to keep it from decreasing. Therefore, there'll be a voltage positive on this side, negative on this side. And therefore, the voltage across the inductor has to be negative L di dt. Why is that negative L di dt? Well, di dt is going to be negative. And we know that the voltage across the inductor from left to right as we go around the loop in a clockwise direction has to be an increase. So therefore we need the negative in front of the L di dt because we know that di dt is negative because the current is decreasing. Negative times negative gives us positive. It lines up with the orientation of the voltage across the inductor. Therefore we need a negative L di dt in the equation. Finally, on the resistor, we have a current going around the circuit like this. We go across the resistor in the same direction as the current. Therefore, we have a voltage drop across the resistor. Therefore, V sub R is a negative I times R. So V sub R, negative I times R. And therefore, the KVL equation is going to be negative IR minus an L di dt minus Q over C, and that all adds up to 0 at any point during the phase around the circuit. Of course, we could then replace minus q over c by minus 1 over c times the integral of I dt. So this is going to be our KVL equation. Or, if you'd rather have all positives, we multiply both sides by negative, and that gives us this equation right here. So now finally, by understanding what happens across the resistor, what happens across the inductor, and what happens across the capacitor, we can see clearly that that is where the KVL equation comes from. Now one more thing, we have to realize that the resistor is constantly removing energy from the system. The energy is I square R. It's going to be a dissipation of heat. Therefore, since the energy in the system diminishes, the magnitude of the current is going to decline, is going to diminish in an exponential fashion, where I, as a function of time, is going to be the initial I at the start of time times e to the minus alpha t, where alpha is a constant that we're going to try to determine when we solve the equation. So we can see that the general solution will be in that format. As the current diminishes over time, there's going to be a frequency oscillation, and there's going to be a rate at which the energy diminishes relative to the size of the resistor, the inductor, and the capacitor, which then, of course, controls the amount of current in the circuit. So that gives us a better picture of what we call the source-free RCL circuit. And that is how it's done.